G'day, how are you? Good to see you again. Thank you for watching, very much appreciated. And welcome to this week's edition of EV News and Gaslighting in Australia. Well, so while things are coming soon, bit of a preview. Things are coming soon. Anyway, later video for that one. But yes, what's been happening here? Well, after years of telling us Australia is pretty much not ready for EVs because, the government, the car industry has suddenly remembered how to make EVs because, the government, especially the emissions rules and fines which this government just brought in, which is now forcing EV makers to make EVs. Who knew, right? We actually get more EV variety in Australia. Policy works, amazing. That Nissan Ariya actually finally arrives in Australia 6 years after its global debut. 6 years, come on. Because apparently Nissan had some trouble figuring out this NEVS thing, how to make an EV work in Australia apparently. But yeah, starts at $54,480 on the road, which is pretty decent, surprising. I thought it'd be more expensive than that. But yeah, undercuts the Model Y and puts a smack in the middle of the sweet spot, the most decent EVs. So yeah, that's before on roads, of course. Comes in two battery options. We get one has 395 Ks of WLTP and the other has 504 Ks of WLTP range. Now, I know NEDC means not even damn close. As for WLTP, I'm not exactly sure, so give me an acronym down the bottom. We'd like to trip periodically, I don't know, something. But yeah, it comes in a F-wheel drive, an F-wheel drive, front wheel drive version and an all-wheel drive version. So arrived in September, which coincidentally is just after the NVES emission rules and fines apply. It's takedown related, of course, just not a coincidence. Who knew policy would work? While I'm walking down the middle of our front yard, next story, Isuzu has hit the market with the, seriously, how much ute? Yes, the Isuzu DMax. They're quite popular selling ute in Australian diesel versions. Coming in an EV, it is real. It's a dual motor, all-wheel drive, 66.9 kilowatt hour battery, so average, I guess. Carries a 1 tonne payload, which again is about average for a ute these days, if the utes ever actually do carry anything. And a towing of 3,500 kilograms. Now, I have no idea why the 3,500 kilogram towing capacity has become the benchmark. Is that because of the mega caravans? I don't know. Range of 263 kilometers. Yes, so maybe you might get to Wollongong with it. It's downhill Mount Ousley from Bulli. It's just halfway downhill. Will it get there? It might get you to Wollongong. Throw a 3,500 kilo trailer on the back of that, like everybody does every day in a daily commute across a Simpson, towing a boat and a jet ski while they're going shopping after work. Then I don't know what the range is going to be there, but yeah, it is what it is. UK pricing starts £59,995, which is equivalent of about 115k Aussie dollary dues right now. Chucking Australia tax on top of that, and it's going to be well over $100,000. So yeah, probably 120, 130, which is probably double the price of the BYD Shark plug-in hybrid ute, which gets apparently 100 k's of range. So you could buy two BYD utes, drive them till the batteries go flat, and still go further than this Isuzu EV ute and save some money. But yeah, it's rather disappointing, but oh well, it's Isuzu, I guess. Targeted at fleets and tradies, which is bold. I guess when the tradies have got to get rid of that 6-figure profit they made from building the guy's deck last month down there when it wasn't raining, they might sell it. Then again, 260k range for a ute, in reality, all jokes aside, it's probably about right for a day's use for most tradies. I was a courier driver for a while there in a van. My average was 1,000 k's a week, 250 k's a day. So 260 k's, I'm assuming it's going to be empty, is doable, I guess. So it probably will work for a lot of tradies in urban areas. So yeah, something to consider. That price tag though, geez, if you've got to hide some money from the tax man, I guess that's how you do it. But back at the puddle, we had about 25 mils of rain this week, so it's filled up about that much. Not much at all, but yes. Anyway, next story. Yeah, remember Mitsubishi? Remember them? Yeah. Anyway, they're building an EV with Foxconn, the mob that make your iPhone. So they're finally trying it again with EVs, which are the new electric hatch being built by Foxconn. Yes, same people that make the iPhone. No engineering your family car, so what could go wrong? Hey Siri. But yeah, Mitsubishi, remember the Mitsubishi iMeV? I've got one, it's up there. It's 16 years old this year. They know how to make EVs, so I don't know why they palmed it off to They're palmed off to Foxconn, but anyway, if it works and it's a good EV and a good price, just gotta wait and see. So it launches in late 2026. Aussie tuning at the Lang Lang by the Mitsubishi Magna A380, there's my aircraft side again, the 380 suspension team. So remember the new generation Magna men? You know what happened to them? Yeah, they're doing that. Tuning suspension for the new Foxconn and Mitsubishi four-wheel drive. Coming with a 170 kilowatt motor, not too bad. 60 kilowatt hour battery, it's middle of the range. 450 k's of range, which it's going to have to be pretty efficient to get that out of an SUV-shaped car with a 60 kilowatt hour battery pack. There's our Model 3 up there has got a 74 kilowatt hour pack, does about 450 k's of range, and it's quite efficient. As for this, we'll wait and see. And it's built to challenge the MG4 and the BYD Atto 3. So yeah, it's not the Tesla killer. So you heard it here first, not a Tesla killer. Groundbreaking reporting right here. I mean, you know, there's all EVs get marketed as Tesla killers. They're not. They're ICE car killers, not Tesla killers. They just get added to the list of cars you can buy that are EVs, which is fantastic. But yeah, what they're doing at Lang Lang now is they're testing the suspension for potholes, corrugations, and sitting in Sydney traffic. Yes, also Mitsubishi CEO admits they're doing it because NEVs fines. Who knew, right? Because innovation always seems to get spurred on by regulatory panic, which is great. But hang on, wait, wasn't Mitsubishi the same Mitsubishi who told us it was the government's fault they didn't make EVs? And now it's the government's fault they are making EVs? I mean, way to get your story straight, guys. Now, that one last story from beyond the black stump. It's right there. So it's the EV holdout that still wants you to thank them for making hybrids all day long. It's, yeah, you guessed it, Toyota. They have big EV plans, believe it or not. But they also have a long history of trying to stop their plans and also everybody else's EV plans. Coming soon, they're bringing the EV Kaluga. It's a 3-row SUV. No details yet, but it's coming, apparently. Also bringing the BZ5X WD-40 electric sedan, to replace the current BZ4X WD-40, I think. Not too much details again because it's, Toyota. And also bringing in, or reporting to bring in a plug-in Hilux. Again, make it a full EV, guys, and you won't be able to make enough of the damn things. But first, you've got to try and stop talking themselves out of it. And of course, they're bringing out the final petrol, the GR Supra, because, got to get those priorities right, don't you, Toyota? Let's not forget, Toyota is the company that's been lobbying to weaken Australians' NEVs, those rules that Nissan and Mitsubishi and Isuzu have just mentioned that is the reason why they're bringing EVs into Australia. Toyota fought against those, and they fought hard and spent a lot of money doing that. Not only that, they're ranked by Greenpeace as the worst policy climate blocker on the planet. So yeah, way to go Toyota on that one, again. Now, if you actually spent decades of money developing EVs and not lobbying governments around the world to fight against EVs, you might actually have some decent EV products in the market by now, and you won't be sitting there playing catch up. It's enough of the gaslighting, or greenwashing as they would call it in the industry these days. No, it's gaslighting, lying to your face, telling you you don't need EVs because we don't want to make them. So while Nissan, Mitsubishi and Isuzu are launching EVs, they're also still blaming, of course, the market and the government for the delays. So it's not the lobbying, no. Not the stalling, of course not. Let's be clear. Australians have been saying no to EVs apparently, but the car makers just refuse to make them. It's not we're saying no, you guys just haven't made them and sent them here. That's the problem. But car makers simply refuse to offer EVs in Australia. But now the rules have changed and they're doing it, and of course they're blaming us for not doing it in the past. Anyway, in a cheery note, thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. I hope you got this far, and if you have, I hope you're doing well, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, because I do have a big black stump here that really does nothing, just sits there. So thank you. Bye.